is Ciara and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For this week's video, I decided to do something a little bit different and I'm going to do my first ever review. Now, what I'm going to be reviewing, as you may have guessed from the title, is the Olympus Pen E-PL7 camera. Last year, I was shooting on a Canon 600D camera and a 50mm lens. There was nothing wrong with the camera at all, but I just wanted to upgrade and I wanted something that was a little bit more compact and a bit more suitable for traveling and running around and fitting in small bags. So after a lot of research, I decided on the Olympus Pen camera. Olympus were obviously very clever with their marketing strategy and they were plugging this as the ultimate blogger camera, and nothing like that had really emerged before on the market for bloggers, so everybody was really excited about it. So just as a disclaimer, I paid for this camera with my own money. It was not sponsored and my reviews are 100% honest. So I'm going to give you guys a review that is very much from a blogger's perspective. So if you want to look up other reviews of this camera, you'll get all the technical terms, all of the specs, all of the in-depth info. I'm going to breeze past that and I'm going to give you this camera from my eyes as someone who uses it for social media, for blogging and for vlogging. So depending on which website you go on, the price varies a little bit. I'll put one of the links below to the cheapest place that I found it. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about with this camera is the size. As you can see, it is very compact. This camera fits in pockets of my coats, it fits in so many different clutch bags, and if you actually detach it, which is really easy, it's even more compact, which for me is really important. If I'm going to events and I'm traveling and I'm on the go with this camera, I don't want to be lugging around a heavy DSLR. The compact size of this camera is very much a plus for me. This was a big reason why I switched from a bulkier SLR. I use it for flat lays, I use it for outfit shots, I use it for shooting all of my style diaries, and I use it for travel shots, for architecture, for food, sometimes for nighttime shots. One of the most important things in my decision to buy the pen was the fact that it has interchangeable lenses. When you buy the camera, you get a kit lens. This is the kit lens that comes with my camera. This is the 14 to 42mm lens, which is basically a good all-over kit lens. It's not going to give you a blurry background, but it's going to mean that you can shoot close range at events. You don't have to go halfway across the room, but it's not going to give you those beautiful portrait shots and those fashion shots, but it is a very good starter lens. I would probably recommend getting the camera that has the pancake kit lens. If you are purchasing it and you want to go with the kit lens, I would go with that one. I have two extra lenses for my camera. I use the 45mm lens, which you may have heard me talk about before, and I also use the 17mm as well. It's really easy to change them. You just push this little button, click it, comes off. Yes, the 45mm lens. This is the lens that I use for all of my style diaries. This is what gives that beautiful blurry background. It's called a bokeh, I think. It's called bokeh. Seriously, I'm so bad with my photography terms, but you'll know it as the blurry background. Now, the price of this lens varies. It depends where you get it. I know it is a couple of €100. It is worth it, in my view, to invest in it. I think it's completely worth it and I use this so much. I'm also going to include a couple of photos very quickly so you can have a look at the type of blog photos that this camera creates. I absolutely love them and I'm so happy with them, and in the last year since I've bought the camera, I feel like it's completely revolutionized the way that I shoot my outfits, and I just think that it's taken them to another level, which is funny considering it is technically a smaller camera. The other lens that I mentioned is the 17mm lens, and that is one that I use for video. This was also a really important factor in me deciding to buy this camera. I wanted something that took high def video and recorded sound well. All of the videos on my YouTube so far have been filmed with this camera, and even though the Olympus pen is in my hand right now, I'm filming this video on another Olympus pen. So my friend Kelly Donegan has the camera as well. She lent it to me for the day, which was very kind of her, so I currently have it propped up on the tripod, and this exact same camera, same model, is filming this video now, so you can really get a feel for how high quality the video is. I don't have a microphone plugged into the camera, so the sound quality that you're hearing is coming straight from the camera, which also I think is a very good factor, because a lot of cameras do not record sound well without a mic. So the lens that I will be using for filming, and the lens that I use for filming these videos now, is the 17mm lens. And if you are looking for a lens for vlogging or YouTubing, I do recommend this one, and the reasons why are because it gives you a slight blurry background, but it also means that you can get quite close to your subject. It also takes very good photographs. It's kind of hailed as a really good travel lens. Those are the two lenses that I think are, for me, absolutely essential. Obviously guys, they're going to cost you a little bit of money. Like, they're not extremely cheap, but they're not very expensive either. Another technical aspect of this camera that you really need to take into account is its Wi-Fi capabilities. This is by far the best Wi-Fi camera that I've ever used. So it works via an Olympus Share app that you download on your smartphone, and then that seamlessly connects to the cameras. If you are shooting on the go and you want to transfer your photos from your camera onto your phone very quickly, another feature of this app is that you can use your phone as a remote, which is also very cool. A great feature of the remote shooting is when you don't have someone around to take your photos. So whether you are in your room or you're trying to take photos of yourself outside, using a tripod and having your camera on the tripod and then using the remote means that you can take your own pictures. One of the main features that Olympus seemed to promote when they were plugging this camera is its dedicated selfie mode. This camera has a flip down screen. So when you're taking a selfie, you basically just hold it up and you can see exactly what's on the camera. Now this mode works obviously great for taking selfies of you and your friends and all that kind of stuff, but also for vlogging. So for vloggers, if you are talking to the camera like they do, having this flip out screen here means that you can easily see if you're in focus, and you can see everything that's going on, which is really important. There's one con that I can think of that I'm going to share with you guys. The screen, while it flips up and also flips down, when it's left on its own, it's facing out, it's exposed, and I would much rather if the lens flipped back in to close on itself. I feel like it makes it a little bit more delicate and a little bit more vulnerable to cracking. But that is a small con that I can let slide, but that definitely is something that I would change about the camera if I could. For someone who wants a very good photography kit for their blog, this is a cheaper option. It's so important that your photography kit suits your lifestyle and suits the type of content that you create. So for me, this kit is perfect. And I think that is just about everything that I wanted to cover with this review. I hope I've answered some of your questions, but if there is anything else that you would like to ask me about the camera, please just leave your question in the comments below and I promise I will reply to it as quickly as I can. I will leave a link in the description below as to where you can purchase the camera. I will also link the 45mm lens that I use for all of my style diary shooting, and I will also link the 17mm lens that I use for my vlogging and filming. So guys, if you enjoyed this video and if you found it helpful, then please do give it a big thumbs up because that really does help me out. If you have not subscribed to my channel already, I would really appreciate it if you did, so you'll never miss one of my weekly videos. So that is it for this week's video, guys. I will be back with another video on Wednesday, so please do stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, if you want to keep in touch with me or chat to me online or follow any of my adventures, you can find me on Twitter, on Facebook, on Snapchat, and of course on Instagram. I am at Ciara O'Doherty on all of those platforms. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!